Mini-episode 1116 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Welcome to mini-episode 1116 of the FDH Lounge. This is FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our preview of episode 4.9 of Billions. Here's our top 5 developments heading into this week's episode. Number 5, Maffei and Dollar Bill's slap fight was more entertaining than it had any right to be. Anytime you're getting celebrity cameos from Stipe Miocic and Rich Eisen, that's almost enough of a payoff right there. There's unlikely to be any long-range implications coming out of this, quote, event, unquote, especially with the comedic non-finish, but it showcased the true grit of two key lieutenants in this Wall Street war, and perhaps the dedication that each put into the pursuit will make them more effective going forward. Number 4. This mobile voting thing is going somewhere interesting, even if it's not immediately clear where. On the surface, Jock's unnamed boss, the president, clearly a stand-in for you-know-who, would simply be opposed to anything that normalizes a system that could lead to fraud and, oh yeah, leads to increased turnout. But on this show, there's never anything as simple as a standard Democrat-Republican clash, so there has to be more layers to this particular line of conflict. Number 3. In an episode with a fair number of unexplained developments, somehow the Attorney General got the NYC police chief to shut down Elysian Fields, and it will be fascinating to learn the pretext. Jock found the leverage that he needed to exert his will, but what's the public justification for the move? When we know that, we'll have some idea as to Chuck's next counterpunch. Number 2. How is Bobby going to deal with getting bested by Taylor not just on CNBC but also on the fracking deal? And it's not like Dollar Bill was able to get him a measure of even symbolic revenge. Taylor is a more resilient foe than he imagined, sometimes psychologically seemingly more cyborg than human, so he's going to get even more desperate to get the upper hand, and Desperate Bobby is one of the most entertaining Bobbies. Number 1. Wendy's agony worsens as her medical license may follow her professionalism out the door, potentially opening the door for a rapprochement with Chuck. The moral lines that she crossed by weaponizing the vulnerability of her former patients are now coming back to bite, now that Taylor's CFO, who may or may not be crushing on the boss, has reported those infractions to the medical board. It would seem on the surface that Mace Cap wouldn't necessarily have much in the way of proof about the nature of Wendy's recent shenanigans, since no conversations were recorded, and Wendy could plausibly lie and insist that she was simply trying to mediate an end to the war. But here's where Wendy's dormant conscience could complicate things. She knows that Maffei's harsh critique, at least about what she became, is true. As such, will she lie to save her skin? And if so, will she be even more in need of solace from Chuck? That may not be the most ideal reason for a marital reunion, but right now Chuck will take what he can get, and so perhaps will Wendy. One of the grand ironies of this season is that Wendy's life is now so much worse than it was when her work husband and actual husband were at war with each other. How this dynamic plays out will shape to an incredible degree the remaining canvas for Season 4. Thank you for joining us for this mini-episode of the FDH Lounge.
As we bring the show to a close, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, all Clear Channel affiliates, TNT, TBS, USA, UPN, Deadspin.com, YouTube.com, YTMND.com, MySpace.com, various blogs, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, IamBoard.com, Billboard.com, Google.com, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPN Classic, NBA TV, NFL Network, Sports Time Ohio, Athlon Magazine, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, The Boomerang Channel, QVC, BET, The Spice Channel, Steno Notebooks, Manwich, Papermate Office Supplies, waitresses, strippers, bartenders, garbage men, janitors, microwave popcorn, the writers of The Office, Scrubs, Entourage, My Name is Earl, Oz, Metalocalypse and the Boondocks, Aquafina, and the Periodic Table of Elements.